Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is finally Monday, April 11th, 9:08 a.m. We can all get back to our weekly trading. The weekend is over. We can finally get back to work. And the market, well, it's kind of red. Traditional market and crypto market, a bit red this morning. Commodities, maybe not quite so bad. Anyway, this is a great way to see some of the crypto market and also traditional market. This is a very, very good site. I'll stick this in the chat right now just because I think it's pretty rocking. Definitely worth checking out. I like leaving this open and setting it for defaults to 5 minutes. I kind of like looking at an hour. You're going to see, Bitcoin versus USDT, Litecoin, Ethereum, XRP versus, of course, USD, then, of course, versus the Euro. It has some value also, Euro versus USD, LTC versus BTC. Anyway, just by default, it's a really good kind of view of, hey, what's the market doing right now? I'll leave it on 5 minutes for now. And also it shows you here 1 day relative performance against USD. It shows the how everything is kind of dumping. Bitcoin down 3.2%. And then at worst, Ethereum down 5%. So definitely catch that Ethereum upswing. Well, with that said, I don't think the day is doing that awful. How's the Ukraine-Russia conflict going, or like the globalist natural humans conflict going, life worshippers versus death worshippers. So basically ruble against USD, so RUB USD, ruble's with USD. Basically, as you can see, we had a dump. It's recovering. Today's kind of definitely market opens today with a bit of a red candle for sure. Back down to the 786. We'll see how this week plays out. So far this week, market opens on the ruble with a serious red candle, but it does actually stop at logical support at the 786 fib level. Anyway, interesting. So basically, the war, the conflict between Russia and the globalists is now 75% won. It seems to be finding some good traction here at 75% win. All right, looking at Bitcoin trading volume explicitly last 24 hours, 6.2 billion. Not bad at all. That is good with the volatility that we've recently had. This represents retail traffic. Of course, most of that could be wrecked, people. But I do think this is probably more buys than not. So definitely some beautiful Bitcoin trading volume explicitly on this dump. People are buying the dip, I think. Cryptometer.io shows 4.6 billion, quite a variance there, but up 25%. That is most likely very accurate. So the trading volume, Bitcoin explicitly, up 25%. Last 24 hours, most likely it's around 4 billion even, I would say, looking at those two. So looking at trading volume, here's the thing. Trading volume, not bad right now. Now the markets are open, all looks good. The more important than the trading volume we're seeing, look at this increase in trading volume last 24 hours. And this is recent. This is not slow or gradual. This happened pretty much the last couple hours. So as you can see, look at all the green here, 126% up for Binance, Coinbase, 151% up, FTX, 234% up. So really, Crypto.com exchange, 17%. All right. Gate.io, 132%. So definitely, I would say most likely people are buying the crap out of all the sweet Bitcoin that just dumped a bit and all the plethora of shitcoins in the universe. So this is spot trading volume that is pretty darn ridiculously ravishing. I've not seen that, I think, ever before. So, I mean, Bybit's up almost 200%. Okay, looking at derivatives. 62 billion, not bad, up 133%. Definitely, those longs and shorts are showing up there on Binance. So this is glorious. We had a dump definitely coming into Monday, but now that Monday is here, people are buying that dip. I think Bitcoin hit a serious buy wall around 40,000. But 40,784 right now. As you can see, most of the top 100 are in the red. And that's just fine. That's kind of to be expected. That's a pretty harsh dump that Bitcoin had, along with the rest of the market. The one guy who has not really lost is BUSD. That'd be Binance stablecoin. Why is that even there? Anyway, well, because it's a big deal. ZIL is up just about 2%. Starting to see a slight recovery here, but in general, the market's kind of wrecked right now. Looking at longs versus shorts for Bitcoin on Binance, 72% long, 27% short, definitely a long bias. For Ethereum, 62% long, 37% short, definitely a long bias there. Just be careful when you have a high extreme long bias. You know it can happen. Boom, a little bit of a wick to wipe out all those longs, and exchanges make money. So here's the deal. U.S. oil, as obviously U.S. oil. How much does a barrel of oil cost in the U.S. today? Going down, $94.50. So the price of oil keeps dumping. It's below the 50-moving average now. This is the one thing we don't mind seeing dumping. So that's kind of good. Good to go. Dollar strength this morning continues an upwards trend that it's had last week. Green candle this morning. S&P 500 opens with a gap. Oh my gosh. Challenging that 50-moving average. Might even see it down below that today. S&P opening crappy. Russell 2000 index opening no gap, but crappy. All right. Gold today, it had quite the stout green candle this morning. Now it's kind of turning into a wick, but definitely gold opened the market with a burst this morning, and so did silver. It'd be nice if silver can close above the important moving averages today of the 314 moving average and the 20 WMA on the daily chart. Right now, gold is above all of them. Let's see if it holds above that 20 WMA today. It's already well above the 50 moving average. So maybe commodities are going to be back in business, except for oil. That one can dump all at once. All right. Now, there's been a lot of chatter this morning. I have to just kind of put my cards on the table. I'm not a perma bear. Some people are boring. And I'll tell you what, the people that say, I hope it dumps so I can buy more, or they say, I've been saying for a year it's going to 18K, but nobody listens, shoot the messenger, People who, or gosh, the what is the other thing? CNE futures gap, which sometimes does seem to have some validity, but basically all the negative crap about I hope it dumps so I can buy more, or it has to go here before it bounces, or this. I honestly had like a total. It's less than I'll ever mention it. I have a. Sorry, I hope you could hear me. I had my microphone over to the side. I'm just ignoring that now. I have found that, like I say, the perma bulls who wanted to go to zero, it's going to zero, or it's going to dump to some ridiculous low level, or they hope it dumps so they can buy more, or it's got to go to 18K before, and then it goes to 100K. I'm around a lot of those people, and I tell you what, everybody talks like that. They're losers, and they never actually buy the dip, and they never buy it when it goes lower. They just have a negative, pessimistic, rolled out view, and most of them I have found are not even in crypto. So anyway, perma bulls, F off. Nothing bad has happened this morning that isn't predictable. Like yesterday, I think it was, I mentioned, we might go to the bottom of this. This is a 3-day chart. As you can see, we've been going up, and there is a question here. Would we bounce off the mid-range and continue going up? Well, we didn't. So we have gone below it. And now we very well, if you just simply look, people, and this is to the perma bulls out there, all of you, it's been riding the 3-day 200 moving average very, very aggressively. And this channel is pretty valid, okay? We hit the top. We did not bounce at the mid-range, the heartbeat of it. We went below it. We might bounce, right at a logical spot right here at the 200 moving average on the 3-day chart. 200 moving average tells the story. It's as straight as the channel. I mean, it's perfect. And so worst case, we get a 40K bounce. And so I had my, 42K, like 500, 42K, 41K, 500. I had some layered, limit orders in that filled. And, just the Twitterverse, YouTube's permabull morons, just give it a break. If going to the bottom of this channel on the way back up is predictable, then what's the big deal? Anybody who tells me what Bitcoin has to do is, I'm going to be honest, kind of a moron. And so here's the thing. What would concern me is if it goes below the 200 moving average here on a 3-day chart and just kind of starts to plummet, and it looks like maybe we're going to have to look at like a 314 moving average. I mean, that would be around 30K. And so really, if we don't have support, I would say if we do start getting it, if it doesn't look good, If it doesn't hold this 200 moving average and starts to go below it and the indicator's looking crappy, maybe I would hedge out some if it looked like it was going to actually get some velocity downwards outside of where it's expected and actually visit this 314. Yeah, then maybe I would be out and expecting possibly a 30K, but really right now we have been ranging. I mean, if you look at this, check this out. Okay. Perma bulls, listen. Okay. Look at what it's been doing. All right. What has it been doing? And what will it probably do? Right. And now I'm going to take this. I'm going to move it over here. Right. And what do you see? Ranging. All right. So anyway, I know I probably sound like a nut this morning, but seriously, the perma bulls, they just freaking crawl out of their little holes and just start tweeting their asses off. And what I don't like about it is, and just spreading FUD and, oh man, I can't wait. I'm going to be buying it at 5K. Like, for those who aren't seasoned and don't know a basic chart pattern, and a lot of people don't, it freaks them out. And I don't like it because that perma bull nonsense, they're always looking for every chance to talk about how they're going to buy this big dip and it has to hit 5K. I'm buying it. I'm going all in. Then it's going to go to 100K. It's like they have no clue. There's no way you can look at this TA anywhere that I can see where it needs to go to 5K and then it's going to burst to 100K. And that's what they're waiting for, or anyway, it's just, sorry that I'm belaboring it. I don't want to make this too long, but I have some people to have confidence. Look at the charts, use common sense. Don't look at the news quite as much. And just like I say, I mean, I will not belabor this any longer. I'm going to wrap this up. I just want to make this point, like what Bitcoin's doing here in a 3-day chart is absolutely predictable. And, if we just simply use common sense, use TA, what do you got? A sawtooth pattern with a gradual upwards channel. There's nothing out of the ordinary. No, I really don't think anything caused this other than, why didn't we, because there's a possibility looking at some indicators that we could possibly, bounce here. There is support. I can kind of call, I would say that, I won't look at it now because I've already, this is already long enough, but there's an argument to be made that there is support right about here, that this could have become support and we could have bounced the mid-range of this channel and then continued up to the top or broken the top. It does happen occasionally, where something gets stronger, it would bounce here at the mid-range. Oh, sorry about that. It would bounce the mid-range, bonk. So it does happen where, you could have come down here, bounced the mid-range, broken to the top, come back, and then that becomes a support, But that isn't what happened. So if, within the realms of common sense and TA, that was a possibility. But we didn't hold it. We went down to the downside. Maybe we'll hit the bottom. It's very, very possible looking at what's been going on. Maybe even wick below it. Could be. But I don't see any real reason to, for me personally, other than I put some buy orders on the way down, and maybe we'll see a little bit of wick below. I kind of expect this to be the next move. And let's just see if that continues. When it breaks out, it breaks out. If it breaks out below this channel, it does. If it breaks out above this channel, it does. But until something happens that gives reason why there's some radical reason to FOMO out of Bitcoin, it just pisses me off because a lot of people do and did because of the, nothing out of the ordinary has happened. Okay, so there you go. Sorry, that was way too long, but sadly, people lose money, and they lose money because of the perma bulls. So all perma bulls, shame on you. You just suck. Stop scaring people. What happened was expectable. It was not Bitcoin's going to zero or whatever, or I can't wait. I'm all out in cash. Let me buy them back in at 30K. That could happen, but I wouldn't play that yet. So anyway, Bitcoin versus USDT on the 4-hour. This is the kind of whale sell zone right here. This is kind of the whale buy zone right here. So we're still in that zone. And I'm just going to belabor this crap one more time to piss you off so that you love me even more for, freaking caterwauling about this. That doesn't quite fit. Yeah, you know what? It fits close enough. And, what do we have here? This isn't perfect, but basically what do you have? You got the whales keeping it in a tight range, buying, selling the top and buying the bottom, right? And so it's a very good chance. I mean, yeah, the bottom of the range they have been playing, it is around 35, 36K. Could we see that? It's possible. More likely, especially,
I'm just going to be a little bit optimistic. You can almost do something like this if you want it, and make the case for we're having a bit of upward movement possible. Let's see if we bounce where we're at. Let's see if we bounce at 40K, worst case scenario down here on the 3-day candle. Let's see if we bounce there. Let's see what happens. Nothing out of the ordinary is going on. The 4-hour MACD is negative. That kind of sucks. Let's look at a different chart here. Here's the 45-minute chart. One thing about the dump, the indicators are pretty worn out here. The stochastic RSI and the wave trend oscillator by Lazy Bear both concur. We're at the bottom, time to turn up. When they both do, the 45-minute chart, and you have a lot of nice red squeeze indicator, binary candles are red, KRI is red, directional index is red, ADX is pumping. Basically, and if you look here, we've been dumping hard. We've been riding the bottom, if you can see it here. Been riding the bottom of the RSI cave here, even kind of pushing the bottom of the ATR cave, but still, that happens. Like if it happened here. I mean, you can see it happens. Like it happened here, kind of happened here, happening again. Very well, we could just be like, stepping down, could be, but really, play what is rather than negative or overly positive also projections. So with that said, here we are. It hasn't dumped ridiculously out of the ordinary. It really hasn't. So I just don't see a panic zone right now. I see, basically, one thing I want to mention is, world news, world conflict, Fed being hawkish, a lot of reasons why the traditional market is doing kind of crappy. Look at the SPX opened with a gap on the negative side, hopefully making a 50 moving average bounce day on the daily. Let's see if it does. Gold and silver kind of pumping a little bit today. That's definitely fear. And so dollar strength index continues to cruise, meaning that, the petrodollar, its supremacy is continuing while the world burns. Anyway, so there you go. I don't want to keep rambling. Sorry. I just wanted to get that point across. A lot of damage gets done to people who are not necessarily knowledgeable by people who freak out and start saying, the perma bulls do a lot of damage. And then again, I guess ultimately perma optimists, perma bulls do a lot of damage. No, perma bears do a lot of damage. Perma bulls can do some damage too. But anyway, daily MACD on the negative side, that's not so great. Honestly, if a person really wanted to hedge, it would have been a while ago when we made this daily MACD negative cross. And as you can see, Bitcoin's been dumping ever since then. A lot of people do make that play on the daily. It's a very popular trading methodology for Bitcoin. So, there you go. I didn't do that, unfortunately. Maybe it would have been good, but that's what happens. Let's look at the 3-day MACD, still positive, getting close to a negative cross. That would not be so spiffy. Watch that closely. Let's look at the 2-hour MACD. Where is that one heading? 2-hour MACD is negative for the moment. Let's watch for an upward tangent on the 2-hour MACD, and that will hopefully turn the daily MACD around. Definitely dangerous waters, but I just don't really see it. We'll see how this plays out, but at least at the moment, I'm really not seeing, even though it sucks, I'm not seeing anything too radical. So if anybody's freaked out, just take it easy, because this is the chart to really be watching right now. 3-day 200 moving average. We've been riding it quite tough. We very well may bounce off it again, and we'll see how it goes. Do watch out for the 3-day MACD getting too close to crossing negative. And if we do break below that 200 moving average, which is right around 40,000 on the 3-day, that'll give me some concern, because then we might start ranging between the 200 and the 314 on the 3-day chart, and that wouldn't be too spiffy. And if we break below the 314, we're definitely, then we're kind of screwed. But that would be like, 30,000, 28, 29,000 or so. So anyway, crappy chart, crappy time. But let me just, why I mentioned trust your intuition. That's kind of the show cover for this is, I know TA will kind of show you everything you need to know. I'm just going to go with this. I know intuition is not TA, but for what it's worth, I think we may bounce here. I think most likely. I mean, just the way Bitcoin's been ranging recently, a little bit abruptly here, I don't see why I wouldn't expect to bounce at this 200 moving average. There's nothing that tragic going on right now in the world or market, and Bitcoin's kind of dumped today, and dumped Thursday and Friday is just look at the traditional market and other markets, and look at the world, what's going on. You know, it's fine. Bitcoin is just dumping a bit with the rest of the world. So anyway, sorry, this has been probably not the greatest video ever, but I wanted to get some weird points across. So anyway, SHIB versus USD, way back down here. It's given 75% back again outside of the 618 golden pocket. Will probably bounce as the market hardens up. Something I wanted to look at here was actually something that was brought to my attention was Doge versus BTC. You can play this on Binance, Bittrex, Gemini, Coinbase, Kraken. So everybody can play this probably on an exchange near them. This is an interesting one. Doge, especially with our little friend Elon in the news recently, Doge has been getting some love, been getting a little bit of movement. It dumped recently because kind of Bitcoin dumped. Indicators are sporadic right now, but kind of looking towards a recovery. But check it out, 45-minute chart, Doge. Check that out. Riding that 200 moving average, Doge versus BTC. We could get a run here at the bottom of the channel there. Not financial advice. I'm not going to play it right now, but I am going to watch it. Doge versus BTC. Doesn't matter if you like Doge or not. If we, especially on news, Doge can pump. So let's just keep an eye on Doge. Doge against BTC. How's it looking on the 4-hour chart? We're let this thing render. Yeah, I mean, 4-hour chart still above the 200 moving average and the 314, looking pretty good. Unfortunately, yeah, we did have kind of a high and now a higher low, a higher high, I should say. So let's just watch this one, especially on a 45-minute chart. Let's see how this plays out. Oh, look at that. Yeah, something that I like is how it's been. I bet if I look at a 45, I bet if I look at a 4-hour chart, you're going to see, yeah. What I like about this is, just bear with me 1 second while I clean this up. Okay, so this is something I like, these kind of plays because it ran up ridiculously, Doge versus BTC. It gave a tremendous amount back, and now this could be a fake out. It's had plenty of fake outs where we thought it was going to run, and maybe it made somebody a little money, who got in on these, and this could just be more of the same. Could be the same thing all over again. These are worth watching. Like if we do a fib, a retracement right here, let's go back here to here. Let's go way out. Where are we at? Yeah, we're you can see where the 786 fib level has kind of played a role before. Now we're just breaking above it, and we're above the 200 moving average on the 4-hour again. Let's see how it rolls. Let's watch this one. I'm going to keep an eye on it. Doge versus BTC. We might just see a bit of some crazy sats that could possibly be made off this trade if it actually continues moving. Let's look at the 45-minute indicators here. Let me blow this out a little bit. Yeah, still kind of sporadic. I wouldn't play this one quite yet, but let's watch Doge versus BTC. This could be a play. It's setting up for it. Anyway, everybody, wouldn't it be nice to see what happens if you don't give up, where you might end up if you're not a perma bull bear? I mean, damn it, perma bear. If you're not a perma bear, look what might happen. Something beautiful might happen in your life and in crypto. So I'm glad you're here for the peaceful revolution. I truly do believe that every single Bitcoin Satoshi you own is an absolute vote of confidence in a beautiful sci-fi world, a truly new earth after a wonderful financial ascension. Okay, so with that said, remember, every Bitcoin Satoshi you own makes a piece of shit banker cry. And sorry this was so long and I babbled about silly things. It's just that really perma bears, yes, perma bears, they hurt people because they're sad. And right now we're seeing absolutely no reason why anyone should panic until we bust below 40K. And then that might be a wick. So let's just keep an eye on things. This 3-day chart tells us a lot. Until there's a reason to panic, don't panic. If you did hedge out on the daily MACD cross, you're gold, right? But watch for the bounce. It will probably happen at 40K. With that said, take care. Bitcoin truth seekers.